Welcome to the D Life. I'm Mikey, and this is my morning ramble. Actually, today is a little bit special. It's gonna be the morning question. It's extra warm today, and I ran out of my vanilla milk, so I just used a dash of heavy whipping cream, and it doesn't taste too bad. So let's get to this real quick. Actually, let me ask my question, and then we will see what this says, the Bible. What do parents want from their kids when they grow up? That was the question. In my opinion, all parents want the same thing. They want their kids to be successful. They want their kids to graduate. Most parents do, some don't care, but regardless, they want them to have a good job. They want them to move out eventually, not right when they turn 18, but eventually. They want them to have kids so they can have grandkids and keep the DNA going, etc. And then your kids will want the same thing that you want. Or do you want not care at all? Just let your kids do whatever. You don't care if they graduate. You don't care if they have a good job. You don't care if they do all the things I just said, all the 4 or 5 questions I just said. Which one? Yes, that's what parents want. Success. They want their kids to grow up and get a good job and be successful human beings. Or no, they don't care. All right, so is it mean, or is it hate, or is it talking shit for the first one, for wanting your kids to grow up and be successful? That's what I'm going to say. Instead of saying all the questions over and over, I'm going to say, want your kids to grow up and be successful or unsuccessful? Successful, yes. Unsuccessful, no. Leave a comment, please. This video, I need as many yes or no's as possible. Do you want your kids to be successful or not? Yes or no? Okay. And you can even say some other things like, is wanting your kids to be successful mean that you hate them because you want them to move out, or that? No, that means you care about them because you want them to be successful. And so, yes or no? Now let's see if the Bible, my little guidance, says anything to do with that. All right, we'll just start right here. Excuse me, Hosea 12. The people of Israel fed on the wind. They chase after the east wind all day long. They pile up lies and violence. They are making an alliance with Assyria while sending olive oil to buy support from Egypt. Now the Lord is bringing charges against Judah. He is about to punish Jacob for all his deceitful ways and pay him back for all he has done. Even in the womb, Jacob struggled with his brother. When he became a man, he even fought with God. Yes, he wrestled with the angel and won. He wept and pleaded for a blessing from him. There at Bethel, he met God face to face, and God spoke to him. The Lord God of heaven's armies, the Lord is his name. So now come back to your God, act with love and justice, and always depend on him. But no, the people are like crafty merchants selling from dishonest scales. They love to cheat. Israel boasts, I am rich. I have made a fortune all by myself. No one has caught me cheating. My record is spotless, but I am the Lord your God, who rescued you from slavery in Egypt. I will make you live in tents again, as you do each year at the festival of shelters. I sent my prophets to warn you with many visions and parables. All right, I read a little bit more than normal, but I'm trying to connect how this one applies with what I just said. Sometimes I gotta think, because sometimes I won't get it at first, and then it'll be like, aha, that's it. So I guess in my eyes it's saying people can be deceitful. They can put on masks, they can front, they can fake, they can lie. Like the part where he says, I am rich, I have made a fortune all by myself. No one has caught me cheating. That don't mean that, got a little peanut in my mouth, I'm eating peanuts. I think that it means, like, don't forget where you came from. Like, they're asking, the Lord is saying, like, the Lord is his name, so now come back to your Lord and act with love and justice and always depend on him. So they strayed away from guidance. And the Lord, it actually is starting now to make sense to me and connect, because it's saying the Lord wants them to be successful the right way, not the wrong way. He wants them to make a fortune and be rich and rescue them from slavery, from Egypt, whatever. That could have been a metaphor for a work. Hope that they get a good job. Rescue them from slavery, bad job. Come on. So to me, I guess it is starting to fall into place with what I said. That's why I wanted to say what I said first, so that I could see if my little sayings are correct or not, because I know many people will see this, even if it's not for a long time, and they'll be like, not just this, but these videos, what I do, this as in what I do. I find myself more and more every day having to use, like I said before, specific words. And not just from YouTube or Facebook, but from the outside world. You can be talking in a broad sense, and people know. They know you're talking in a broad sense, but then they hear something that they don't like. So then they start to say, well, he said this and not that, even though they mean the same thing. But they want you to be specific, and if they can catch you off guard and prove that you wrong, or they think they are, then, the negativity is trying to get to you. So it does to me actually mean the same thing. It means, good things, sell, make a job, good things, be successful. So it does fall in line with what I said. My question: do you want them to be successful or not? Like, I know some parents might be like, well, we want to make sure our kids ready, this and that. But the question also, this might swerve a little. People are going to swerve on me on this one, but mothers think that they have the deepest connection with the kids, and they probably do, because they came out of the mom. But sometimes that blinds the mothers from seeing other possibilities for their children. They just see one vision of love. They don't care about good and evil. They just are like, I love my kid. And there's nothing wrong with that. But take the blinders off and quit putting your children inside of a narrow hallway with all these doors, but you won't let them open the doors. You want them to stay in your view of the hallway at all times. And I know why. It's scary. Because yes, men, just because fathers, just because we didn't have them grow inside of us, does not mean that we don't love them. And some fathers just might love them more than the mothers. I'm just saying I'm playing both sides here. I don't necessarily believe that. I believe all mothers, because of the special biological connection, that they will always have a certain type of love for their kids that men and fathers cannot. But the main message of this morning ramble is that if you tell a father, a parent, don't have to be a father, a mother, a parent, a father, a parent, whatever, that they hate their kids because they want them to succeed and graduate and have kids and find love and have their own house and enjoy all the things that we're enjoying as adults. Do you hate your kid for wanting that? Is it wrong for you to want that for your kid? Or do you have to jump over and be like, no, I don't care if my kid gets any of those as long as they don't die. As long as they breathe oxygen in and out and don't die. I don't care. No, you should have things that you care about. It should not be just love. It should be guidance and parenting and boundaries, and let them experience everything that you are experiencing. You have kids for a reason. At one point in time, most likely 99 out of 100, you loved that person, or at least cared about that person enough. Okay, not 99, but there's a percentage of people that just have one night stand and fun and stuff, and then they just someone ends up getting pregnant. But I'm saying, like, even after those people have the kid that they might not have even wanted, they're like, you change. Just like everybody says, as soon as I seen that baby, as soon as I held that baby, as soon as my life changed, blah, blah, blah. It's true. But does you wanting your kid to be successful and enjoy the things that you're enjoying? I'm enjoying my freedom in America to be able to even have the opportunity to buy a house, to give my kids a good life, etc. All right. I think some of you are going to be able to read between the lines on this one, and that's fine. That's why I also wanted to get as many comments as possible, as many people as possible. I'm going to keep reposting this one because it's a big one for me. Because even before I had kids, when I was younger, all I wanted in life, some people want to be rich. Some people want to be a professional athlete. Some people want to be a chef. I wanted to have a wife and kids and the white picket fence around the house. And I got it. I got what I wanted. Not many people get to live their dream. And it means that, okay, shout out Wendy. You know what? When I first met Wendy, it was not under the best of circumstances. Actually, I'm just playing. It was at Smashburger. I will talk shit about Smashburger every day, but then that's the yin. But the yang is some of my happiest memories are about Smashburger. So Wendy, I just want to say I'm glad I got to meet you. You're a good person, like for real, not just a good person, polite, nice, etc. But inside, I can tell you are a passionate, caring person because of just the way, like, the conversations that we would have and how we would agree on like certain things, whether it was serious or stupid or just rambling at work, good, blah, blah, great minds think alike. And it don't matter what age you are. If you think the same as somebody else and it's a good thing, then you're both thinking positive, your love, all that. It's all a good thing. So if you didn't catch it at the beginning, and you just had a kid. So you tell me this, Wendy. Please leave in the comments, just write yes or no. For your baby, what do you want? One of two things. You want your baby to grow up and be like you and get to experience the love of having a child. Do you want your kid to grow up and graduate, get a good job, move out, find a house, whatever, have kids, and then experience the same as you? Is that what you want for your kid? All those things, grow up, good job, good life, good wife, good everything, whether it's a wife or being single or not, or do you just not care? You're gonna love that kid even if they wanna, you don't care, you don't have aspirations. If they wanna be a junkie on the street, you'll still love them, but you're not gonna try to make them go down the right path. Which one? And not just junkie on the street. I mean, like anything, like just be a homeless person, or be somebody that lives with their parents forever, and or somebody that like is mean to people. Like, which one, Wendy? Yes or no? Come on, because you just had a baby. So to me, and you're a female, it's important to get your perspective. So write yes or no. Do you want your kid to be successful? Or do you not care either way, successful or unsuccessful? You're going to love no matter which one. You're going to, correct me if I'm wrong, but you're going to pick the one with love. I said they both are love. You're going to have the same type of love, but one is you wanting your kid to be successful. The other is you not really caring. But the difference is the one that comes with the success means that you have to sacrifice a couple things for your children. Like letting them go once they get to a certain age, or not even age, once they reach a certain status. Because some kids and adults, I'll stop calling them kids because some of them aren't kids, they're 18 plus, but they reach those things in life sooner. Some people don't have a good job or graduate or find love until they're in their 20s or 30s or later. But some of them get it right away. Like graduate at 18, have a good job. Maybe they have or have not found somebody else that they care about yet to start a family. And eventually they're going to want kids. Or let's just throw it up in the air and live life free. I'm a free spirit, but not that free. I like to have a tiny bit of structure. I think some people focus on the future as in weeks, years, days, months. I think I focus on the future in the day, the moment, instead of spending 100 thoughts thinking about what's going to happen tomorrow, what's going to happen a month from now, what's going to happen a year from now. I'm what's going to happen 5 minutes from now, what's going to happen a half hour, 5 hours, what's going to happen. And that's part of the racing thoughts, OCD, ADHD, etc. Is that you're planning, you're trying to figure everything out at once. ADHD, you have multiple things started, they're hard to finish, but I'm learning to harness that. There are videos that show you do it yourself type stuff. And if you can learn to harness multiple activities instead of just not finishing them or going back and forgetting, you learn how to remember and finish each one. You actually have a slight advantage over some of other people, in my opinion, and in the opinion of what I learned. And it kind of makes sense, because if you have people that just can think about 2-3 things at once, do them fairly decent, and they're good. Or someone that's doing 5+ things at once, what happens when they figure out how to do the same thing as the person with 2 or 3? Now they're doing 5 or 6, so they're doing double. I'm not saying they're better than that person, but I'm trying to give a metaphor of ADHD and like how you can almost find any type of positive in a negative. Because a lot of people are like, ADHD is a negative because it's distracting, this and that. put them on meds, this and that. It is distracting, but if you learn how to do it, just like anything, once you learn, it gets easier. But sometimes you have to be shown how to do it. Ice skating, for a quick example, or skateboarding, any sport. Ice skating, you get up there, you're wobbly, you're holding the wall, whether it's ice skates or roller skates. And you could try for days, months, you're by yourself. You're trying and you're falling and you can't figure it out. But then after a long period of time, someone comes over, or you watch somebody that knows what they're doing, do it, and then you mimic that, or they tell you what they do, and then you do that, and then you start to kind of figure it out. You let go of the wall, and the next thing you know, you're doing it on your own. But why? You didn't ask for help, but in a way you did, because you sought the visual, or you sought to listen to the person that was helping you. Whether that person's a stranger, a friend, a parent, God, whoever. So if you know your kids are successful and they can do they meet all the criteria, and you know that they are going to love doing what you're doing, having their own house, their own apartment, their own lives, their own wife, their own kids, their own pets. They can't have all that living at home. And this ain't just about that, just because the metaphors and references come back to that. That is one of the stages of my question. Do you want happiness and success or not? If not, all you have to do is sit back and say, I love them unconditionally, and not do anything when they do bad things. Or you can do the same and love them unconditionally, but you can tell them right from wrong. Don't do that, don't do this, and you can assert yourself. Or you can sit over here and do nothing and watch them keep on fucking up. Or you can, give them a little push, like, okay, you did this, and that. Now it's time to take the final leap, the final step of faith, just like in any movie or any TV or anything. That always comes down to that final step. The bird pushing their baby out the nest. They don't push the baby out of the nest as soon as the egg cracks and they come out. No. They let them grow. They watch them eat. They watch them flap their wings. Mikey, why do you keep going back to this reference? Because I'm silly and I watched a lot of documentaries on animal stuff, because I believe in the world we're all animals. Humans are animals that are taught to act like humans, in a sense of how to better ourselves. That wasn't meant negatively, but I'm just saying, don't forget you're an animal. And Joe Rogan said it the other day. Humans are animals that are taught to be human. So anyways, like, you might have to push that bird out, because you've already told them what's right from wrong. You've already helped them with everything else. You've been there for love, support, everything. And over here, you've been there for love, support, everything, but they keep on going, doing the bad stuff and whatnot. And it's like, oh, it don't matter what I do. Mom and dad will love me no matter what. Or you can be like, oh yes, I'm so glad now that I'm so glad that my mom and dad helped me do that last step, because it's not that I was scared. I just wasn't thinking about it. I was concentrating on grinding and making money and living a good life. Okay, that's good. But guess what? It gets even better. And you might not know it because you haven't experienced it yet. And that's where we come in as parents, to do that little nudge. And then you're giving your child more enjoyment and pleasure in life. Like, I'm saying, like, from experience, that's what happens, you know? And then what happens when that finally happens? Later down the line, your kids, a year, 5, 10 years down the line, your kids will come back to you and say, you know what? Thank you. I love you. I don't know if I ever would have been able to do that without your help, love, guidance, support, etc. Or you can just like, oh yeah, I love you. I always have, kiddo. But what? You want to be happier, you don't like where you're at, you feel bad and like depressed or all these other things. Like, what do you want me to do for you? I just love you. I'm just sitting here loving you. If you need some love, that's right here. Go ahead and make bad decisions, but or good. I hope you make good ones, but yeah. You want to experience the stuff that I'm experiencing? Well, then go do it. You want my help in doing it? You got my love. That's all you need. But you want your own place and house and kids and love, and you want to, find someone to wake up next to every morning and be happy, and then get up and then, have grandkids running around, etc. You want all that stuff? No, you just need love. You don't need me to push you or to tell you or whatever. You know what you're doing. Go do it. I'm here though if you need love. Right here. No, you want all that? Okay. Well, so far you've done good. You have had you've done it. You're ready. The only thing I can think of that you have left to do is, do you need help? Do you want to go find whatever? Is it intimidating thinking about being out on your own? Because it was for me. And I'll tell you what, sometimes people tell you like you have to do something and it'll be tough. And then you'll be happy that you did it. Well, guess what? This is not one of those times. This is one of those times where it's not hard to do. And you'll love it even more. So you want my opinion on how to have everything that I have? Wife, kids, house, animals, pets, a good job. Well, you have all that. Well, except for the house and a bunch of pets because, you live here, so we have pets. But, all you have left to do on those things is get a place, move next door. A lot of people do that. They have their friends and family, kids move in a very close vicinity. Then they can come over every single day. And then when you're done hanging out or whatever, just like they would go to their bedroom at night, they go to their house. And then they come back over the next day before or after work, and it's like they never moved out. But they did. So you have that time to go to the next stage of your life. You brought kids into this world. You raised them. Not just right, but better than a lot of other people on this planet. You showed those kids, good morals, good actions, and everything. So you have nothing to worry about except you have to tell your kids, watch out for the people that didn't give a fuck about their kids. And if you ever need anything, I got your back, and I'm proud of you, kiddo. And if things don't go right, you're always welcome to come back and have as much time as you need within reason, as long as you're following the steps like you did before. And sometimes it's when the kids out there nowadays get out there, it is a little bit different. Inflation, the price of living, etc. But you have to start looking. Sometime you can't just wake up one day and then be like, oh, I'm ready. You have to do the research first. Just because you're doing the research doesn't mean that you're going to move out or go. If you're looking for somebody to date on the phone, a dating app or something, you're not going to go with the very first one that sounds good, but you're doing it because you want that possibility to pop up. Side note, real quick story, I was working at Smashburger about halfway in between the 10 years that I worked there, and I was like, you know what, maybe I wouldn't mind doing something else for a little bit. So I got on Indeed and filled out an application. And then they would send me a thing. You fill out some questions and they send you jobs that you would be able to be good for. And I would get like at least one every couple days, if not up to 5 a week. And sometimes I look, sometimes I didn't. In my spare time, I'd just scroll through like, oh, yeah. But it wasn't like, oh, that's a good one. I'm going to go I want to do that. I waited. And then one day I saw Burlington. Okay, that sounds something kind of like what I want to try. I'm not seeing delivery stuff. That's a whole nother story. AutoZone. Ow, my back. Go. Back still hurting a little bit. So, like I said, it's not like you have to go. I passed up like other ones that sounded good, you know, like FedEx driver, all these other ones. Copy. So what it is, back to the lecture at hand. Do you want your kids to be successful and be happy? Or are you going to put a cap on and not let them find love and happiness of being independent, etc.? And just chill and be like, I'll be here when you need me. I love you. Love you, kiddo. Always will, always have. You got a place here. It's all good. No, you're going to want the best. Even some parents that know they're not very good parents or bad parents, deep down they still, what do you hear those type of people say? Oh, I don't want my kids to be like me. I'm gonna make sure that my kids don't end up like this. That my kids are gonna be successful. They're gonna break the cycle. Allegedly, in my opinion, from what I've seen, family and friends in real ass life and on TV, I've seen people that have been down bad, and they still wanted what was best for their kid, which was not to be like them, and not to be like them at that moment, at their moment of weakness. So, I mean, I got a little into it there, but I'm gonna back off. I think also, like, if you couldn't tell, like, I'm pretty much back to normal as far as my back. It still aches a little if I am in a certain position, like depending on what kind of chair I'm sitting in, my truck, the recliner, the kitchen chair, like, put you in different positions, and so then when I get up after sitting for a while, it kind of hurts. So I really just hope that everybody watches this video, and I want to start seeing notifications of people leaving comments of yes or no. Yes being the first one. You want your kid to succeed and be successful and get all those things in life. Have a fun childhood. Go to school, graduate, move out, find a love. One of those first. It don't have to be move out right away. You can live with your parents for a while. That's fine. Maybe you'll find love, and then you and your love can move into a place together. Or you'll find somebody and you can, do it together. And then watch them be successful, and they get to enjoy what you are enjoying at this moment of raising them, and knowing that you made a good kid. You raised your kid right, but that doesn't mean that you hate them. Why would you say that the person over here that wants the best for their kid hates them? You hate your kid because you want everything good for them. Yeah, why do you hate your kid? You want them to do all those. You want to force them to do all those. But if they don't want to do some of them, they don't. If they don't, I'm not going to force them, but I'm going to give them the opportunity. I'm going to explain to them that those options are out there. And if I've been told that they want that, I'm going to tell them how to get it. Especially if I did it and I succeeded, then I'm going to share my information Just like people that are like motivational speakers. Maybe that's what I'm doing right now, but they get paid money to do it. And then you say, why do people go and waste their money and listen to those motivational speakers? Well, for one, they're where they're at for a reason. They're doing something right, whether it's what you agree with or not. And then that's where people and humans are all different. You can choose to get happiness how that person got it, or you can choose to get happiness how this person got it, or you can choose this, or you can take a mix of everything and do it yourself. And that's usually what humans do. But there are similarities. And then you could put those similarities into groups, into categories. But never should you say wanting your kid to be successful means that you hate them. Please don't ever do that. That will hurt somebody's feelings to the core. And it's usually a way for that person to justify why they're sitting over here and just whatever. Or they're kind of in between. Being wanting success, sitting over here. They're kind of caught in the middle because they, most likely this person that's caught is the female because they have the unconditional love of having the kid grow inside them and all that. Or they want them to be successful as well, or both. But usually, because the man can't come over here and be like, oh, I gave birth, I have that connection. But they can say that they have a connection. The only difference is the woman carried it and had to go through stuff. And yes, they should be commended gratefully for that, because we wouldn't have kids to be able to make us happy, to be able to teach right from wrong. I just want to make sure I keep staying on topic though. I'm not saying that either one is bad. Well, kind of I am. I'm not saying either one is bad. But I'm saying one's positive and you want your kid, you want to push them out of the nest like the birds. Like I said, they don't push the birds out right away when they crack out of the egg. They watch them. You know what would happen if a bird did this side and was like, I love you babies. Why did you crack out the egg and start whining? Oh, you want some food? You don't know how to get food? Okay, I'll get you some food. And then they go get the food, they come back, they feed the babies. There, I love you, I made you happy, I gave you food. Oh, but you want me to, I'm supposed to show you how? Okay, I'll show you how. But no, then you can come over here and be like, oh, my babies came out of the egg, I want to feed them. Watch, that I'm going to go find you food. And then they find the food and happy, and they watch that kid grow. They play, they teach, show how to groom, show them how to whatever. And you can apply this with any animal, any animal. And then it gets to the part where that bird, because all birds are different, just like all humans are different. You don't know. They're all different in their own conscious way. Some of them birds are going to go and jump off the ledge, and it's that first bird that jumps off. The other birds might see that and copy it, but then there might be that one that's like, Now, are you going to be over here like, you don't want to go jump off the edge with your brothers? Look, they're flying. You don't want to go do that? Oh, you need help from me? Can't help you there. Or you can be like, oh, I know, don't look down, it's scary, but look at your brothers and sisters, they're flying, they're having a good time. You do want to do that? Okay, you want me to help? Well, the only way I can help is by, here you go. And they, it's a little aggressive metaphor. They push the bird out. But they would not do that if they did not think that bird was going to fly. Now, they have indicators that they also know, just not by intuition, that the bird is going to fly when they push it out. But they see the other kids, so they know that bird, unless it's like got a deformed wing or like it just can't. like physically can't. And even then, they can still show that bird how to live a different life. Anyways, they have to push that bird out. But this person's not going to push that bird out. They're just going to say, hey, you know what, your brother, they'll come back. I'll go get you some food. When you're ready, you can go. And then what happens if that bird never decides to be ready? Do you just chill with them forever? Maybe. Is that wrong? No, not at all. There's nothing wrong with that. But here's the question. There is also nothing wrong with the person over here that wants to see and help and do whatever. Both sides have unconditional love, but one side is going to produce a different life for the bird than the other side. Or both sides can get together and we can work as a team. And as a team, everything is easier. Just like the saying, one stick snaps easily. 2, 3, 4, multiple sticks are stronger. They're not going to snap. So instead of like, hey, we should do this. We could do that, but we could do this too. Well, why don't we do this together? Because apart, you're going to be weak. You're a single stick. You're breaking because you're not putting yourselves together to be stronger. You're just making it harder. So, take both. Communication. This is where the communication comes into play, people. Communication. Put those sticks together and be stronger. You don't have to come over here, and you don't have to come over here. You can meet in the middle because both sides want the same thing. It's just one side, they balance each other out. One side thinks of certain things and one side thinks of others. But the part where the communication gets hard is when those things that the other side don't know or think of start to connect with the other side. Some of them will be like, oh, that makes sense. But then some of them will still not. So you got, it's stopping. You got the ones down here that make sense. But then you got these that you don't agree on, which is fine because you got all these down here. But why not try to talk and then have it all come together, and then you'll be the strongest. I hope this made a lot of sense to you guys today. I hope people are able to not take every word I said exactly, because nowadays, especially with younger generations not understanding how social behavior and interaction is different than interaction on a phone. And that's why it's tough for some people nowadays to go out there and physically interact with people, because we do it less and less. And we need to start doing it more and more. I use my phone a lot, but honestly, I use my phone for music and this. The rest of the time, if I do scroll, it's during my scroll time of the day, in the mornings or whatever. It's not every single time I have a free second that, oh, where's my phone? I gotta scroll Facebook, I gotta scroll TikTok, etc. And then people try to throw negativity at you, and they say things that they know will hinder you. So just know that. All right, one more little thing. That's how long I've been talking. I actually finished my coffee today. kind of funny. The wifey says that, well, not says, but she points out that I do drink most of it and usually leave like a third or a fourth of it in the cup. But also, sometimes I'll drink a cup and then I'll run a little bit more through and have a second glass, which I'll probably do in a second. But I just wanted to talk about all that today. And at first I didn't know how to accept the parable, but I do now, because I mean, if you think about it, it's what I said. You want them to be rich and not rich, but rich as in having what they want and stuff. So sometimes you just got to do certain things, and you have to be consistent, and you have to communicate. But don't ever let anybody tell you that wanting the best thing for your child means that you hate them. Wanting the best thing for your child, if anything, means that that's how much you love them more than the people think. Because the people on the outside are looking at you like, why you want to do that? Duh. And you say you love them. Yeah, but I also know what they're missing out on, that I know because I raised them, what they like, and I know that they're not getting to do those things that they like because they haven't done it yet. So I want to help them do that so that they can finish experiencing all the things they want. I don't want them to hit a glass ceiling and be like, this is it, this is happiness, this is how happy life gets. No, there's so much more past that. But yes, I'm the one that has the key, and I need to open it and let you go up and past. So then that's when the parent needs to take the final step. And I'm not saying like whether it's moving out, whether it's help find a job, whether it's get a car, whether it's behavior, whether it's anything. I used a lot of metaphors in today's message. And that doesn't necessarily mean that that's the only subject, or that's what I'm talking about. It was metaphor to try to make it easier to understand, and to let everybody know not to feel down on yourselves, or or depressed or negative in any way for wanting what's best for your children. And strangers are going to judge you, and all kinds of family and friends are going to judge you. But don't give in if you know in your heart that you're doing the right thing. Because there are people out there that don't know what you're thinking and feeling because they're not you. But if you let those words hurt you or get to you, and you can't make it go away, you gotta try to figure out, because it'll eat you alive. And sometimes certain things can get said to you and put you in a bad slump or whatever. And sometimes people can do it and you immediately know how to deal with it. But nonetheless, you gotta deal with it. Just like everybody says. Oh, trauma, anything, arguments. You don't want to go to bed angry because you might not wake up. And sometimes you just have to keep being the real one that you are. Because like I always say, yin yang, nothing's perfect, black and white, positive, negative. You're going to be seen as the good guy and the bad guy throughout life. But there's times when people are going to try to make you look like the bad guy, but later down the road, that's going to get switched to good guy, because down the road, they're going to see all the stuff that happened when you made it happen, and then they're going to be like, you know what? I was wrong at this moment. I was wrong, and then you get put up here. It's like time travel for life lessons, to be honest. Like, do you get it? You're down here. You got, this is the timeline. They said something negative. Then you make things happen, and the negative thing turns into a positive. And then down here, they're like, oh, I remember when I said what they were doing was negative. Now, they're positive. They're like, I'm glad that they did that. But the real thing is having to be the person that's the person that sees the future and sees ahead what's going to be good. And sometimes you can't blame other people because they did not experience the same things that you or me may have experienced in life. So they don't know that that's what needs to be done. And if you waste your breath trying to prove your point, then you're not going to get anywhere except deeper into an argument. So I got my little baby right here. Emmy, what you doing? Waiting for daddy. All right, let me end this. Just remember, everybody, do what you want. They're your kids in the end, but when they grow up and they do or do not do good things or bad things and are a good person morally or a bad person morally, in the end, it's your fault as a parent. And I'm not saying that one parent should point fingers at the other, because they shouldn't. That's what I'm saying. They should not point fingers at the other parent, especially in a balanced relationship, because that's why it's a balanced relationship, because one thinks this way, one thinks the other, and then you take those two and you put them together, and that's why it works. So just don't stop being a real one. Don't give in and change your words and your beliefs just to please somebody else. Because in the future, they're probably going to come back and thank you for it. I mean, look at everything that happened to Jesus. There were all those people that hated him and stoned him and forced him to walk with that cross. But then, after he rose out of the dead, out of that tomb, I guarantee a lot of them people were like, oh my God, why did we hit Jesus in the head with that rock? It looked like it hurt. Dang, maybe we should have helped him. We were wrong. He was the Son of God. Oh my God. How many people are, like, sometimes it's too late though. Sometimes it's too late. You should have done it the first time. You shouldn't have went with the crowd. You shouldn't have went with the bandwagon. You should have went with yourself. And that's, in my opinion, the definition of a real one. Because you be yourself and let other people put you in those categories. If you try to be in one category or the other, are you really being a real one? Because you're trying to be one or the other, so that's not real. It would be, I'm a positive one, I'm a negative one, I'm an in-between one. No, a real one is always real, always down the line, allegedly. And other people will put them in one or the other. And usually if you are a real one, you'll be in the positive one. So everybody, Emmy, it's so cold outside. She's watching to see these squirrelies. What you doing, Emmy? Huh? You wanna go outside? All right. All right, here we go. What you doing? Get your ball. Get that ball. There it is. What you doing? Get it. I might get that ball. What you doing, girly? It's actually not too bad out today. It is chilly still, but what you doing? Come on. Oh, you're looking for it. There it is. Get it. Good girl. I'm glad I get to end today's video with this happy shot. Oh, there she is. Oh, I can't keep up with her. Get that ball. Get it. Good girl. Good girl. All right. All right, everybody. Just remember one thing. Don't ever let anybody tell you you're a bad person for wanting what's best for your kids. Thank you for coming with me on this journey. I was trying to just think of what to say, but thanks for listening. Have a good day. Positive vibes. Thanks for listening. I think that's the one I'll probably stick with. Thanks for listening. Positive vibes.